in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, where I grew up. This is our shop, we call it. My dad and mom owned a trucking company, so yeah, I grew up a lot of nights down here, and my first job was washing big trucks and helping my dad out on the trucks. So I wouldn't say the hustle's too much different between other seasons. I would say I trained the same. I had off-season surgery, so yeah, just get back in the gym. It's a little different trying to get everything organized with my dad and Jake and all of our sponsors. I wasn't a part of that in the past, so I had to really remember what we did to the sled and how we made it fast.
So I met Lincoln probably when I was like 10, 11 years old. We both used to race against each other. He raced in the same class as I did, and he started racing before me. So, when I started racing, it's funny, like he was younger than me a little bit, but he was like always the guy that was winning. So, somebody that we would always chase and try to beat. And he always used to get me in like the last corners of every race. Like I could be leading the race till the last corner, and he would come in and like cut my skis out, pass me in the last corner, tip me over. Like he was just a smarter racer, even back then. But we've always had a good relationship. Yeah, we've known each other for heck over 25 years now.
Jake just called me one day. He said, "Do you have a ride?" And I was like, "No, I don't think so. I think Skidoo said that they were gonna try to have a factory ride, but with Boss not coming back, there's no open spots." So he said, "All right, let me make a few calls." Then a few weeks went by, and I didn't really tell my dad, because once I would tell my dad and mom and some friends that I knew they would make it happen, and I didn't really want to ask that question, I guess. So Jake called him, and my dad called a few other guys, and one of our friends, Scott Calderwood, and between him and my dad and my mom, and we're going racing.
2 years ago, we would say like, "Hey, let's start a team." And Lincoln always said he wanted to start a team when he was done racing. And then this year, unfortunately, I heard the news that he was kind of a free agent, didn't have a ride this year. So I just reached out to him and was like, "Hey, do you want to put a team together? Like, let's see if we can go racing." And he's like, "No, I want to be on a factory team, so on and so forth, or I'm probably not going to go racing." So. And he kept saying, Skidoo was going to try to make room for him, and so we were just waiting on that. And then finally, he's like, "Yeah, they said they can't do anything." And I was like, "Listen, I will do whatever I can. We can put a team together." It wasn't going to be on the level that One Three Motorsports really is becoming.
Yeah, there's always something to prove if you're not the champion, I guess, right? I felt like last year I should have had the red plate for much of the season, but with that side panel falling off after the first weekend, everything just went downhill after that. There's always something to prove.
Yeah, our goal for 2022 is to go out and be a championship title contender. We're not there to just to get our feet wet, and that was even when we were going to do it on a smaller scale. Like that is something I really stressed to Skidoo. I don't have the time to see him go out and ride around in 10th place, and I don't think he cares to do that. Like he's not going to invest his time. He's going out to win, to again show everybody that he is a top guy. There's only 2 guys that Skidoo has on their roster right now that have ever won a pro race, Elias and then Lincoln. That speaks for something right there, What motivates Lincoln to be the racer that he is almost being told he can't do something, Like some people tell them, it's not going the right way, or if you're harsh on him, like some people shut down. I think that's what really drives him, He's a quiet guy, always worked hard, trained his butt off, and if you don't know him, it's tough to get him to open up. But I think this year more than ever, it's just to try to prove that he still has it in him,
I think I'm a threat every season. I've won the first race more times than not since I've been racing, so I always prove people wrong. I came into the pro class in 2013, 2014, and A lot of people, said I couldn't race pro, and I didn't really know that at the time, but looking back at it now, I proved all those people wrong, and I know a lot of people think that my career should be done, which is kind of crazy to me because I've been one of the most productive guys for the last 8 years, and there's not many guys who are still racing from 8 years ago. So, yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of podiums and I've got a lot of wins for a guy who wasn't supposed to. So, I've always believed in myself, and I've always kind of thought that people, didn't believe in me the way they should have. I was one of those fast guys when I was, 15 years old, and I knew I was better than everyone else, but I just never really got a shot in the Midwest because I grew up in Vermont, so it's tough to leave home, and and now kids, that's kind of the norm. If they're fast, they get a ride out west and they can show their talents. So yeah, I just want people to remember that I proved everyone wrong, and that you can do it, no matter where you live or how fast you are. If you dedicate your life to it, then you can get it done.